decided to take a leap of faith one certain time and travel down to Abuja. Now, I was looking at how I could make an impact in people.
Okay.
Right from the onset when I was in the bank. But I just told myself, then I didn't even have it in mind that I was going to do real estate.
Yeah.
I came into Abuja, that was sometime in 2023, just to survey the environment. And when I came into Abuja, what I saw was opportunities, untapped opportunities that people were not seeing. For me to be able to understand how best to be able to give an impact, to be able to make an impact, I decided to work in a real estate company for a period of time, because I got to see that for Abuja to be the way it is, it has to be realistic, like development as a matter of fact, infrastructural activity. So I came into the real estate space to understand what it is that is being done behind the scene.
So it's another episode in the Real Estate Beat, the property voice of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to tell you that today's episode is one that you will love to hear and hear more. This is an experience, like I said, in the Real Estate Beat that help you to learn how to stay safe in the real estate market, the opportunities, the challenges, and how to win big in this space. And I'm so excited that one of the guests we have on the show today is somebody who is packed with value and knowledge in the real estate space, who just transited from brokerage to development. It's an amazing experience, and I know he's going to have a lot of things he's going to share with us today on how first he considered real estate to be a tool of building wealth. So we have on the show the CEO of Recap Nigeria Limited. Yes, that is very powerful, Recap Nigeria Limited. So he's a very passionate young individual who have been playing big in the real estate space as a broker and currently standing tall as a developer. So I would like to ask you, Champion, how did you make the decision moving from your former industry where you played in the financial space and now as a real estate expert in Abuja? So how was that journey for you?
Well, first off, thank you so much, Mr. Henry, for this opportunity, because I consider this an opportunity, not just for me, but for those who are watching as well, because I know how it was for me when I entered the real estate space, because I needed something like this to help give me that zeal, you know, to be able to pursue my goals. Yeah. I used to always say I was a banker before. Okay. I used to be a bank staff before I moved into the real estate space, and I was in the bank for a couple of years. But like most people always say, I didn't get the satisfaction I needed, I wanted as a bank staff. Okay. I needed something more. I was in the corner, and I decided to challenge myself. I've been in the banking space for roughly 7 years. But I decided
That's close to a decade.
I decided to take a leap of faith one certain time and travel down to Abuja. Now, I was looking at how I could make an impact in people. Okay. Right from the onset when I was in the bank. But I just told myself, then I didn't even have it in mind that I was going to do real estate. Yeah. I came into Abuja, that was sometime in 2023, just to survey the environment. And when I came into Abuja, what I saw was opportunities, untapped opportunities that people were not seeing. For me to be able to understand how best to be able to give an impact, to be able to make an impact, I decided to work in a real estate company for a period of time, because I got to see that for Abuja to be the way it is, it has to be realistic, like development as a matter of fact, infrastructural activity. So I came into the real estate space to understand what it is that is being done behind the scene. And to understand what problems there are there that people are not seeing. Now, there's one thing I wanted to understand. Real estate is just a means of wealth. But wealth begins with the mindset.
Okay, so real estate is a means of wealth.
It's a means.
And wealth
there are several means of wealth. Okay. But real estate is just one of them. Okay. But it begins with the mindset. Sure. First, asking yourself what problem is there to be solved. Because business and life generally is all about solving problems. Sure. To be able to create value. So when I moved into the real estate space, one thing I had at the back of my mind was, what problem was it that this industry had that people were not seeing? I started as a broker in the company, but I had a problem then in the company. What was the problem? They were just like, a mentor of mine would say, a one-stop shop, or let me just say like a shop. They were running like a shop, not like a corporate organization, whereby they were only interested in the monies that were coming in as of then, not in creating value. Now, what brings about value and appreciation, return on investment in real estate. Talk about structures,
Sure.
infrastructural activities. That is one thing that most real estate companies lack.
Exactly.
So when I came into this company, I got to discover this was a problem. I decided to go out to get to understand how I can actually create value for these people who are bringing out their hard-earned monies into these companies to invest. That was when I got to understand that with real estate comes infrastructures, with value, with return on investment comes infrastructures in a place. People pay you money, you have to use that money to bring infrastructures into those locations, just so the place can appreciate and people can get true value for their money. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's all about problem solving, identifying a problem and being able to solve the problem. I came into Abuja in 2023. I noticed this problem. I met different developers. Then, like I told you, it's the mindset factor, because there are people that have been in this state, in the FCT for more than 10 years. And I can tell you for sure that they've not been able to identify a problem to tackle. Upon noticing this problem, I decided to play with the big boys in the industry, in quotes, to understand what it was that they were doing then, to be able to get value for these people that are buying from them. When I understood this, there are some back ends to this. I tried my best to align myself in those places where I will be able to give value to these people. Now, first, I wanted to change my environment because I was not feeling fulfilled. Okay. I was in the banking sector. I wanted to so desperately live there. I wanted something better for myself. Now, look, don't get me wrong. For those who are watching, I'm not saying banking is bad, but I'm just saying everybody has a purpose. For me, that was not my purpose. Yet I wanted something more. And I wanted to help people get value for their existence. Hence, the reason why I came into real estate. Now, for those who are watching, like I said earlier, real estate is a means of wealth, but it's not that real estate is 100% what is going to give you the wealth. It starts with the mind. So if you are coming into real estate, if you're watching this video right now, you're looking at it that, okay, fine, real estate guys are, they're the big guys, they're earning a lot of money. The truth is, if you come into the sector with that mindset, you will get very frustrated, because there is a whole lot of things that are happening behind the scene that you may not know until your mind is fixed on it. When I entered into the real estate space, I saw so many things that on a normal day I would have opted out. I would have opted out because it was at some point frustrating. It is frustrating, particularly when you are looking at giving people value. If you are just looking at the money, it's going to be temporal before you may fall out of the space. But if you are looking at problem solving, giving people value, it can be very frustrating and tasking. But that is where your mindset comes into play. And as long as you have that thing of, okay, I want to help this person. Even when you are making losses, you don't feel it. What gives you joy is the fact that you're helping people. So for me, it's been a journey of resilience. It's been a journey of faith. For me to have gotten to this point, like you rightly said, I started as a broker, but I wanted to give more to people. And that was why I decided to delve into the real estate space, so that this time around, I make the decisions for you as a client. I'm not held back by maybe the decisions of some developers. Maybe you need to put in place this certain infrastructure and you are delaying for some reasons which I don't know. This time around, I have the decisions to make. So when I tell you your money is going to be safe, when I tell you at this period of time you're going to have a very good return on investment, let's say this value for instance, I am very certain of that, because at this point the decision is in my fingers. You get the whole I'm in control of it, as a matter of fact. So that is it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I think this really brings so much clarity for it, especially the point where you mentioned that the attention should be more first on the value not just the money.
Not the money.
Because it's important, because of course lot more time people's attention is, okay, there is money here, and they begin to forget that part of value come first before money. So thank you so much. I think you really give that clarity. And I would equally like to say, now Abuja real estate market is considered to be one of like the best in the Nigerian market, right? Now, how do you think that will be able to help an investor, to be able to position himself strategically well in making real estate decision in the city of Abuja?
Okay, like first, what I usually like to say is Abuja is the federal capital territory of Nigeria. That alone communicates a lot. Abuja is the fastest, in quotes, the fastest developing city in the entire Nigeria, and by extension, the entire West Africa. I'll tell you something for free. Now, if you've been in the real estate space, or if you are looking to come into the real estate space and you study the development of Abuja, you get to see the master plan of the city is driving towards the airport road.
That's true.
Now there are so many trademarked projects around there. There is Centenary City, there is the Hutu Abuja, there is the Abuja City Walk. Now, for an investor, be you somebody that is based in Abuja, be you somebody that is outside, what should an investor always pay attention to? Buying low and selling high. Now,
buying low, selling high.
Yes. Now, as a developing city, trust me, I can tell you this for free. If I was having a conversation with somebody some days back, when he told me his fear with Abuja is that everywhere in Abuja is expensive, everywhere in Abuja is expensive. And I told him, look, you are only saying Abuja is expensive because you are paying attention to the city center, which is already saturated. An investor should be able to have a foresight to look at places that have prospects of development. For instance, the airport road axis. For instance, the Karishia axis.
Exactly.
Now, you as an investor, in the words of Robert Kiyosaki, when you buy a property for you to live inside, it is not an asset. It's a liability. Why? Because you spend a lot of money to maintain the house. Okay. I'm not supposed to be saying this because I'm in the real estate space, but don't forget, I promise to give value to people who are buying from me. Now, as an investor, your goal should be to buy, develop the property, and either give it out for rent. There are different means in which you can now give it out for rent or sell. For you to be able to do that and get value, you shouldn't be looking at investing in the already developed locations. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is Abuja is a hub for investors. If you are looking for a place to invest your money in this very time and era and have your money, grow in a very short period of time, is Abuja. I tell you a story. Something happened in 2024, January 2024. There was a piece of land that was selling for 900,000. That was 190 square meters. I took somebody there for an inspection, and he laughed at me. I was like, Robert, this kind of place where they sell like this. They sell this kind of place. When this place won't develop. Now, this is behind the Centenary City in Kuje. I told him, look, this place, if you look very well, this place shares fence with the Centenary City. I was like, oh, all this in Abuja, realtor, waiting. I was wasting our time. That's what I go do, because now they find money. I kept him quiet. After that inspection, I tried to do follow-up, but I noticed he ignored me, and then I left him. This guy reached out back to me in October of last year, trying to find out, because there was a property selling in Kuje, or there's a property selling in Kuje right now that is inside, going for 2.5 million, same, prototype. So it was like, the place I took him to earlier, 2024, it was 900,000, it was even closer to the road. Then he called me to ask me how much the place was. I told him 5.5.
Oh, God.
This was in less than 2 years. Less than 2 years, 5.5. So he got angry, he felt I wanted to cheat him. He went to other companies to find out, other companies that had allocations there. And some were even selling for 6 million, some were selling for 6.5 million. And I was like, now how did this thing happen? And I told him, look, this is Abuja. Abuja is the fastest developing city in the entire Abuja, in the entire Nigeria, And then because of that, you shouldn't look at anywhere in Abuja as far, as undeveloped. Abuja, being the federal capital territory, houses different headquarters. The embassies, foreign embassies are all here.
Of course.
And with what do they call it? Population comes development. Abuja is a place that everybody wants to come to.
Absolutely.
People in other parts of Nigeria wants to come here. What does that mean for you as an investor in the housing space? It means you need more housing deficit. So you, as an investor looking for a place to invest your money, if you miss out on Abuja in this day and age, trust me, in a few years to come, you sit down with your kids and tell your kids how you watched Abuja develop, but you're unable to invest in it. So, to answer the question, you're making a mistake of the 21st century, no matter how rich you are, not to have a piece of real estate in Abuja. So you need to have a keen eye for that. Okay, December I was in a housing show in somewhere in Abuja. One of the biggest developers in Dubai. I wouldn't call their name for the sake of
yes.
You know, they had a housing show here in Abuja, so I was privileged to attend. And I can tell you for free, the amounts that they were calling for off-plan was crazy. Buying into off-plan, this is in millions of naira. You know what I'm talking about?
I get you.
And then I looking at because it was being displayed on the screen.
Yes.
Looking at Abuja, what makes us think Abuja is not driving towards that? Most of the major projects in Dubai, talking about the Dubai City Walk, and most of them, they are being replicated in Abuja. So that is why people who are watching this, if you're an investor watching this, or you know an investor, someone that has money, you should. My advice to you is, the more you sleep on investing in Abuja, the bigger the mistake you're making. I just gave an example of somebody at Fuji, and the list goes on and on.
Sure.
Abuja is a hub for investors, but only the very smart investors know that.
Fantastic. You see, the truth is that sometimes some people are willing to make decision. Some people are ready to make decision. Probably some people who, of course, some can be in Nigeria, some can be in diaspora. But sometimes, how can some people who are ready to take a journey be able to avoid some certain mistakes, either as a new investor or maybe a new somebody just coming into real estate, to be able to stay safe and avoid losses that probably they must have seen some investors made or some either marketers or brokers made, because there are some certain flaws I think must have affected others, maybe the process of due diligence or whatever. So what would you advise, more of like a guide process for that?
Okay, first off, Abuja is not like every other state in Nigeria.
Okay.
Talking about the title documents now for investing within Abuja, let me use a state, in a place like Sokoto, for instance. You can decide to buy a piece of land and decide to build whatever it is you want to build.
Exactly.
The biggest mistake you make as an investor when investing in Abuja is not defining your goals clearly before buying either a piece of land or a piece of property.
Exactly.
Abuja is the most planned city in Nigeria.
Most planned city in Nigeria.
It has a master plan that is what every piece of land you see in Abuja has a purpose for it. There is a purpose. That is why we have residential, land for residential use, commercial, industrial, and the rest of recreation. So in recent times, and even in times past, there's been lots of demolitions in Abuja, and I've had a lot of prospects who are very concerned about that, who have called me at several times, and they've been like, look, this Abuja, I don't understand it. I cannot invest in Abuja. But this is the thing. If you know as an investor you don't have the time to go through such due diligence, you can either involve a lawyer, not just any lawyer, a property lawyer, or work with a developer or a realtor that understands the real estate space in Abuja. We have title documents, we have the customary titles, we have, of course, the FCDA titles. But people, I wouldn't want to say investors generally, people, because they are looking for cheap land, go mostly for this, what do they call them, indigent titles, where you buy and maybe one chief
area councils and the rest of them.
Not area councils per se.
Indigenous.
Yeah, the indigenous.
Yes.
Now they buy into these, forgetting the place of understanding the purpose of that very location. There are places that are green areas in Abuja. They have been designated for green areas. There are places that have been for numerous purposes. For you to understand that before you buy any piece of land, this is an advice for free to investors. Before you buy any piece of land, particularly when you are not so sure of the person selling to you, the developer, like you. Look, the thing is, even if you can't be too sure.
I get
as a matter of fact.
I get you.
First, look for a way to carry out due diligence by going to Aegis.
Okay.
To see what the purpose of that place is meant for. To see if that land actually belongs to the person that is selling to you, to see if what the person has told you is going to be on the land is actually what is going to be there. Now, let's assume you've gotten all of this checked. The next thing you need to find out is to to know if that place has an approval, building approval. Now, for the sake of this video, for the sake of this, you can buy land even without a building approval, particularly if you are sure that it's if you are buying for a residential purpose and then you are sure that that land is for residential.
Yeah.
The building approval could be in process.
Yeah.
Okay, you can buy it and keep, because most of the time when building approvals comes out, it becomes more expensive.
Exactly.
But for the sake of investment, for the sake of profits,
Exactly.
return on investment, you can key into it as long as you are now certain that it's for residential purpose.
Okay.
So when coming into the real estate space in Abuja, what you should pay attention first is, before you buy land, understand the title of the land and know the purpose for which it is meant for, and try your best not to go anything contrary to that. When they give approvals for buildings, usually, like I tell some of my clients who have bought from me, what the development control is more concerned about is the external features.
Exactly.
To be sure that if they tell you, they might tell you this is a 2-bedroom duplex, but it doesn't mean you can't alter the interior.
Sure.
You get. So for people who have been scared that a lot of demolitions have been happening in Abuja, even without them coming to check for themselves what is actually happening.
Yes.
I'm telling you this, that if you don't, certain times you need to on your own make certain research or involve experts who are well knowledgeable about this to do this research for you before you delve into it. And I'm telling you this also for free, that when you are able to invest safely, in quotes, safely, after carrying out every due diligence, you will never be able to invest in any other part of Nigeria except Abuja. Abuja, if you understand it with the way it's going, Abuja, like I said some time ago, Abuja is modeled after some of the most developed cities in the world. Talking about Washington DC, talking about Paris in France.
Yeah.
The master plan is such that upon the completion of what it is they want to do in Abuja, Nigerians in the diaspora will queue to come back to Nigeria, want to come back to Abuja. Let me give you an example. What is happening along the airport road? I'll leave that for now. Maybe I'll talk about that some other time.
I get
But Abuja, for now, if you want to invest in Abuja, for you to be safe, pay attention to your title documents, pay attention to your building plans, and you're good to go.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts. Thank you very much. I think this part of this, taking time to be sure that the person making the right decision, is a very critical part. And what you said now, anybody who listened through to it, myself, as I was saying, I'm just taking a note of my head, because in real estate we learn every single day.
Yes,
we continue to learn, and get much better. Now, for people, some persons actually, they might be willing, they are willing to be able to follow the process, the due diligence, and the rest of that. But now, in case they're looking out for a place to buy, is there like some places in your mind where you think that probably they should look out for locations? Because Abuja have one of the most biggest, let's say, several places, it's all countable. So in your list, like earlier you mentioned Hutu when you were talking, you talked about, I've seen you over time talked about Kuje and those areas. So is there places like you can be able to say an investor could look out for?
Yes. Abuja's development is in phases.
Oh, beautiful.
There's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and currently phase 5, right?
Yeah.
And as an investor, a smart investor, realtors use this term, smart investors, it doesn't even know what they're saying. So as a smart investor who wants to really get value for your money,
yes,
your attention right now should be in the phase 5 development.
Oh, phase 5 development.
Yes. Why? Because these locations are low at the moment.
Yes.
They are very affordable.
Low entry, yes.
Low entry at the moment. You buy, but not just the fact that they are low, there are lots of infrastructural activities happening there, which tells you that in less than 1-2 years, that place is going to be a bomb. Places like the airport road, like I mentioned earlier, there are some projects around the airport road that are so,
I guess.
Projects like Hutu Abuja.
Yes.
Hutu Abuja is the first of its kind. It is Africa's first polo and golf resort estate.
Awesome.
There's been adverts going on Hutu.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, from 2024, when the project was launched, and I've been saying this. Today, if piece of 150 square meter in Hutu. You know, Hutu is a project. There are different phases in Hutu. There's a prestigious, exclusive, and and the likes of others.
Yes.
A piece of 150 square meter that was going for 3.6 million in December of 2024, right now is going for over 11 million naira.
From 3 point something to over 11 million.
11 million naira.
Can you say that?
Imagine, imagine those who have taken that leap of faith to have invested in them. Now, as at when Hutu was selling for 3.6 million naira, I can tell you for a fact that there are people that went there and said they can never buy properties in places like that. Hutu, the last time we checked, when we say Africa's first polo and golf resort, it doesn't mean there are no estates around Nigeria that doesn't have maybe golf.
Yeah.
That does not have a polo. Polo, the game of polo.
Sure.
But what makes Hutu exceptional is that you see that environment, that terrain. When you talk about recreation, the definition of recreation is Hutu. There is a British standard school there. There is going to be a 5-star resort hotel there. There's going to be a polo ground. There's going to be a private helipad. And don't forget, and don't forget that is on your path to the airport. Like I mentioned earlier during the video, I said the development of Abuja is gravitating towards that axis.
Exactly.
The plan is to decongest the city center. Okay. To make it such that you're a visitor coming into Abuja, you don't need to, burn your fuel, enter the traffic, going to places like Maitama, going to places like Katampe and the rest of them.
Yeah.
All you just need to do is from the airports, you go straight. And if you are the kind of person that loves luxury, you can just take a chopper down to the place. Now, in there are lots of recreational activities. Talking about badminton, just name it.
Yes.
They are all there. So literally, you can live your life inside of Hutu and not have any need to go out. There's going to be a filling station there, a fuel station. Yes. In the Hutu project. Like I told you, there are different sections to the Hutu project. Now, there's going to be a fuel station there. There's going to be a police
That's office. A massive land.
When it comes, when it comes to security, everything you can think of, a city is being built in Hutu. As an investor looking to invest in Abuja, first, places like Hutu, another very good location you should be looking at as an investor is a place like Karishi.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Karishi, there is a major road construction that is connecting Apu to Karishi. For people that have been paying attention to real estate in Abuja, you'll be hearing Apu Karishi.
Yeah, sure.
That major road construction, once it is completed, previously people were not paying attention to Karishi. In fact, I can tell you there was a time in Karishi when they were selling land for as low as 600,000.
Sure.
There was a time like that. But today, in Karishi, as low as 200 square meters goes for 6 million, and even more. You can attest to that.
Of course.
So you see places like, as an investor, why I mentioned the phase 5 of Abuja's development is, you see those outskirts that people are not paying attention to. What makes a man rich, people that are very wealthy, what makes them rich is investing in what, in quotes, they call boring investments.
Okay.
Places that seems like nothing is actually happening. You see those places, that is why the rich are always exceptional. The way they think is different from every other person. They look for those places that people are not paying attention to. They understudy what is the plan for this place. And in a place like Abuja, you can, in fact, if you are very careful, you get to know that there is no part of Abuja that is not going to open. So places like Kuje, knowing that there's a major, there's an airport there, which is a place that everybody goes to.
Every single person.
Every single person goes to the airport. So
always
for
busy.
A place like that to be around there, it tells you as a rich man are smart, naturally. It tells you as a rich man that it's only a matter of time. This axis, people will not want to be stressing themselves going from the airport to places like Guzape or places like Katampe. All they just need, rich men want convenience.
So
see, if you're wealthy, what you just need is convenience. Yes. the whole essence of money is to help you with this stress.
I'm learning lesson from this. As if you are wealthy, what's your what?
Convenience. What you're
looking for is convenience. I like that.
So you are coming from the airport, you don't need to stress yourself sitting in the vehicle for minutes or even hours, as the case may be. You just have to go into either the Hutu project or the Kuje project.
Sure.
Now, let's say you're coming from Apu, you don't need to cover all of those distance, because this road connection that is, that they are on right now, is something that will take you less than 20 minutes from Karishi to get to the city center itself in Abuja. And Apu is a major part of Abuja.
Absolutely.
So, for me, as an investor looking to get a very high yield, within a very good space, like within a very good time frame, you should be looking at places like the airport axis or places like Karishi.
Okay.
If you even have the resources, get in those two places. And trust me, all you do in a few years from now is thanking the organizers of this podcast for organizing something like this, because it's going to be mind-blowing. You'll be very marveled at the return on investment you get.
Awesome. I think this is really knowledge packed. Thank you so much, Mr. Robert, on the show today. I'm so excited. Sometimes when you see people who are intentional about helping people win, you will know. So I can tell you that what you've stated this particular moment is an information that people naturally need to pay a whole lot to be able to learn, and it's important to know that sometimes some people, they want knowledge, but they don't even know where to go get it, so for someone who is actually watching out this is something you should pay attention to. And I can tell you that Mr. Recaf have been doing a great job as a broker and now as a developer. So we will be in our Instagram, on our YouTube, we'll be collaborating with him, so you can of course as well check him out and then ensure that you can have a conversation as much as you can. Thank you so much for joining us this day.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to time when you have something to say. We're always open here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.